morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to yet another amazing episode of A Work in Progress with yourself, or with myself rather, Melisa Poulton. I'm so excited to be joining you today because I have another powerhouse sitting next to me, and I'm so I think I want to use the right word, but okay, for now I'll just say I'm really I'm usually looking for the word, but the Vambu in me is coming out. But I love that she's sitting next to me because now we get to hear her story, her journey, and we get to inspire you. Please help me welcome to our show, Melisa Poulton. Hi, Melisa.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Now, you look amazing, first of all.
Thank you.
As a fashion powerhouse is what I was expecting. I was expecting you to show up here looking great.
Yes, of course. I need to look the part,
Yeah.
Now that this whole Devil Wears Prada came out. We, as fashionistas, fashion people in the industry, we need to do the thing.
All right. Melisa,
Yeah.
we love to inspire on the show. We love to give inspirational stories. We like to hear people's background, where you come from, how you started, because not everything that glitters is gold, We all have backstories, and we don't, especially in a digital world, we don't always post, our challenges, very few times. I mean, now it's becoming a trend to post what you're going through, but like from back in the day, it was really not a thing for us to talk about, what we faced or how we grew up and all of that. So let's start from the very beginning. Melisa Poulton, as a child, where did you grow up? Who raised you? All of that.
So, as a child, I grew up in Windhoek. I was born in Windhoek, but my roots is actually from the south.
Okay.
Yeah, from specifically Keetmanshoop. And then there's a town that's 80 kilometers before Keetmanshoop. It's called Chase. Our farm is on Chase.
Okay.
So I also grew up a lot on the farm as well. And yeah, my parents raised me, my mom and dad. Both of them raised me. Yeah, and yeah, that's
Do you have any siblings?
I don't have any siblings. I'm an only child, but I grew up, my family is rather big. So I grew up with a lot of aunts and uncles, cousins.
Yeah.
So my cousins are like my brothers and sisters.
Yes.
So I associate to them as my brothers and sisters. And yeah, I always say, like on my Instagram posts, I call them my first best friends. Yeah.
Yeah, because essentially our cousins are really our first best friends.
Yeah, definitely.
We don't even know a closeness before our cousins.
Yeah, definitely.
No, it's
And
true.
I'm a family girl. Family is like very important to me, and my family overall, we are family people.
Yeah.
So, and our mantra, we are known for that family that likes to gather and likes to come together, and we're always together. So yeah.
All right. Now let's talk about your fashion journey.
Yeah.
What age did you start, or what age did you realize, man, I actually could take this up as a career, and I really love making clothing?
So, it's quite an interesting story. Like, as a child, I've always been influenced by, I feel like, fashion or some form of fashion or creating. My grandmother used to sew clothes, my mother's mother, and I used to do needlework not needlework, what you call it, knitting things.
Yeah.
I used to do that with my grandmother as a kid. And then, other than that, all my dad's sisters are fashionistas.
Okay.
I had this aunt, she had this cupboard, like such a long cupboard with racks and racks of shoes. And we used to play. That was our playground. And then other than that, my mom is also a fashionista. And my mom always used to put me into these pageants and all of these things. So I feel like from a young age, I was surrounded by this a lot. And then other than that, for almost everyone's wedding, I was a little flower girl, little bridesmaid.
Yeah.
So I was in that world, like the fabrics, the dresses, all of those things. But I never really knew what you call it, right?
Yeah.
And then I think, I don't know what year did that 101 Dalmatians movie come out, but I think I was 8 or 9, somewhere around there. Then we went with the school. We had a school trip and we went to go watch this movie. And I saw homegirl creating there. And I mean, who wants to become a Cruella de Vil one day? Yeah. But for me, it wasn't about her evil side. It was about the side that she was creating.
Yes.
And from the influence from all of these things along my childhood, things that I saw, I immediately like associated myself with that. And I was like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it started to make sense.
It started to make sense. And on school, I did art classes. I forced my parents, I want to be this person and I want to do art classes. And it was even one of my major subjects in school because I was at a private school. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then for university, did you end up studying fashion?
Yes, I studied fashion. I finished my school here in Windhoek and then I studied fashion in Cape Town. At a college that specifically only does fashion.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was that experience like for you in Cape Town?
It was interesting because, as a child, everyone always used to say I'm an introvert. I am still a bit of an introvert, but I feel like it brought me out of my shell when I went over to that side. It was the first time away from my parents. It was almost like I'm going out to boarding school or something. I don't know what. Yeah, and then this college had a student house as well, so we were all fashion students in the student house. Can you imagine? Imagine the setting, sort of. Yeah. So I was very nervous at first. I remember my first day I was super nervous.
Okay.
And because you're stepping into a world where people are spicy also. But overall the experience was really wonderful, and everything that I learned at this institute I brought it back home as well. Or it really taught me a lot for me to set my foundation this side. And like, they were not easy on us. It was hardcore. It was not easy. The late nights that we had to do. And like from the get-go, from first year, it was intense.
Oh, really?
There was no babying. And like you had your deadline. If you missed your deadline, then you must just go back to Namibia.
Yeah.
They were really, really hard on us, and they also made us, enter a lot of competitions.
Okay.
So we took part in a lot of competitions, and the pressure was like really. So I feel like all of that they taught us, they made us ready for the real world. Because a lot of students, they complained and then they
dropped out.
They dropped out, and we ended up being only 3 that graduated.
Wow, girl. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, and I think it makes sense
Yeah.
that you went through so much pressure and all that pressure at school.
Yeah.
Because now, like, the Melisa Poulton brand is such a big brand in Namibia and well respected and has been around for so long also, and consistent and just growing and growing as well. But tell me about the birth of the Melisa Poulton brand. When did you decide, I want to go, first of all, with my name, and I want my brand to look like this and this and this?
Okay, so already when I was studying, I already recognized what my signature needs to be, which is the ruffles.
Yes.
Yeah, because
everybody knows. If you see ruffles,
yeah,
Melisa
you see it everywhere. So a lot of my sketches, a lot of my inspiration stuff that I did on college had to do with ruffles, and even the techniques and stuff I learned from there, because they just teach you the basic. And then what you want to learn further, you need to now go to the lecturer and be like, I want to learn this technique. This is what I want to learn. So a lot of times I also always tell people that want to study design, you only get the basics. And then from there, it's up to you what you want to learn and develop further. So that's what they taught us at this college. So it's not of like, it's really not easy, but anyways, getting back to, so that's where the signature style started from. And then where the name started was actually from a very close friend of mine. So when I've completed my studies, I came back to Namibia. I started working at a company. I worked there for 2 months. Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't all sunshine. It wasn't all sunshine and roses, but I learned a lot because this was a production company. So I learned how production actually works, like if you need to do mass production. So I grabbed all of that concept there, and I'm also applying that in my business, what I learned in those 2 months at this company. So I wasn't really happy at this company, and then I left, and then I actually got my first client, which was a wedding. And then I did the bridesmaids and the bride and, you know, the da-da-da-da-das. Okay, fine. And then I just started my studio. It was first a garage at the bottom of our house. My dad set it up for me even. I had my small machine key with my small overlocker. And then I was like, Daddy, I'm going to do this. And, you know, my dad was so amazing. My dad stood by me and he was like, you know what, OC, we're going to do this.
Yeah.
This is what you're going to do. You want to do this? We're going to do it. So he really guided me a lot along the way as well. And then at first I had a very other name. I'm not gonna mention that
Why
name.
not? Tell us the name.
Anyways, yeah. So then I used to make outfits for my friends. Like they were my first clients.
Yeah.
So my very good friend, her name is Uyama. So Uyama was like, Eintlik, why are you with this funny names? You must just be House of Poulton because your surname carries so much power. She's like, my friend, you know how much power your surname carries? This is you. It's about you. It's your brand. And then I was like, you know what? Because I was going to change it to by Melisa Poulton.
Okay.
So I was telling all my friends, no, it's going to be by Melisa Poulton. She was like, no. It needs to be House of Poulton, not by Melisa Poulton. Yeah. So that's how the name came.
It's a very interesting story because we then also realize the influences of the people around us that they have on us as well.
Yeah.
You spoke about, and I think anybody that has experienced you, whether they come to your studio or whether you are backstage somewhere, you always have a family member there with you. Like the support is big. They are transporting things and people and all of that. I think over the years that we've known you to be close to your family. But what do you think is the importance of generally family supporting creatives specifically?
It is really important because a lot of times as a creative, you have moments where there are really challenges where you feel like, how am I going to do this? At least if you have family members that you know that are backing you, that you know can even just do that transport key. Like, you know, you can phone that cousin and be like, where's your bakkie? Can you just come through? And that cousin comes through without a question. It's small things like that where you know you have I call them my army. You have this army that you know you can call this person or this person. You know, when you are really in a tight situation or in a tight spot, you have your people that you can sort of lean on, because doing it alone is really difficult, and financially to be a creative is very expensive,
in Namibia
and
especially.
it's really not easy to be a creative in Namibia. And especially because we don't get financial support, a lot of financial support. So if your family is there to help you with a little thing here or there, then
Let's talk about Paris, girl.
Yes.
Tell me about your experience in Paris. And I think you're one of the very few, if not first, designers to even make it to Paris Fashion Week. And to showcase at that level, it's like every Namibian fashion designer's dream come true. So for House of Poulton to make it all the way that far, let's talk about the good and the bad. Tell me everything.
So, okay. So Paris was really an interesting journey. It was very difficult to get to that point. You know, I got this invitation such a long time ago, and firstly, I had to raise funds in order for me to go, and that was really a struggle. That's why I say to get financial support in Namibia is almost next to nothing. Like, if I'm being very honest, like the amount of work you have to put in, like to prove yourself that you are worthy to go to Paris, and you know, for even a corporate company to decide, okay, we're going to give you a 50K or 100K in order for you to go. It's hard as a creative, especially in Namibia, because I feel like they don't believe in us as much as we believe in ourselves. Like, so we have to put in extra hard work. So I think the journey going to Paris took about 3 to 4 years in order for me to go. So the production company that I showcased under, they were really, really supportive. This is one thing I can say about, you know, When we look at things on TV, we think that it's a bitchy situation.
Yeah.
But in all honesty, this production company, they were so amazing. They were on board. They basically took my hand
Okay.
all this through all of the steps and all of the phases, and we'll jump on a call, and there was a lot of honesty and open conversations with one another, and so that was I think the worst part of going to Paris, raising the funds in order to go, and because you have to pay. It's not a thing you get invited, yes, but you still have to pay your designer fee in order to showcase.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the invite is very special. It's very unique because they only invite a select few people. I guess they do their scouting and their homework and whatever, but you still have to pay.
Aye.
Yeah. You still have to pay, and then you have to get yourself there. Have your flight tickets and all of this jazz. Yeah.
And you go and showcase, hoping obviously for bigger, better, and somebody.
Yes.
Maybe investing as well.
And they definitely, for me, a lot of opportunities are on the horizon.
Okay.
That have come through after showcasing at Paris. Like, my brand is definitely more visible in the European market and in the American market.